Hey folks, Species7 here, and welcome back to the channel. Got something new for you again today. This is called Logistics Company. And it's basically, if you're doing Transocean, the shipping company, and you decide to step off the dock at one of those ports, well, you'd end up here. And you'd get to figure out how everything goes from here to, well, to your ships or your trucks or your trains. And you, well, start a new game. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Do you want to replay the tutorial? Well, sure. We'll show you guys all of this, shall we? It does have a fairly thorough tutorial, perhaps a little too much. Alright, welcome to the transshipment point. We load freight between trucks, ships, and freight trains here. Your task is to earn money by fulfilling orders and expanding the transshipment point. The more loading options you have, the more lucrative the combination of orders will be that you can accept during the course of your career. So...
you're finally here. I've been waiting for you for half an hour. Welcome to our trimodal transshipment point.
Trimodal transshipment point. Wow. We used to call it the dockyard.
You can take a look around the transshipment point using the WASD key. Using the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Hold down the right mouse button and move the mouse
scroll
to
in
rotate
and
the
out.
camera.
In and out. There we go.
We currently have an open order.
Alright.
To load two
containers onto the freight train.
So get yourself in the driver's cabin of the bridge crane.
Let's do that, shall we? Now, you can either click directly on the device, or you can go down to your vehicles and get into the bridge
Freight
crane.
trains are loaded and unloaded using the bridge crane.
Now, I prefer... Where the heck is it? This will get us turned around here in just a sec into the right view. I'm not sure why it starts that way. There we go. And... oh, I guess our hook is all the way up. That's why we can't see it. There we go. Just trying to find the right view here. There we go, that's the one that I want. Now, basically, get this mouse thing out of the way. The controls are fairly simple. WASD moves the rail car side to side. The arrow keys control raising and lowering the actual attachment mechanism, and then if you look down in the lower left beside the picture, you'll see a sort of an aiming deal. And as you can see, you want to get your dot as close to the center and then start lowering it down. Keep making sure you're centered. And as in real life, you don't want to get too quick with, well, at least not till you're real good. You don't want to get too quick with your crashing up and down with this crane head here. Then we hit the enter.
Use the W and S keys to control. Use the return key to attack. The D-pad in the bottom left. Now grab the first container.
Alright. Sorry about that. So, then back up on the arrow key. And, well, we can put it where this one is, but I think I'll put the second one there. So, if you move over, you'll notice an illuminated box. And then, of course, we also have what they call the D-pad. Not sure why. But yeah, I definitely find that small motions are important here. For one thing, things will tend to travel past where you initially try and get them to if you're not careful. And secondly, you can damage freight. And that will directly affect just how much money you are going to make. So, As soon as that turns green, there we
Now
go.
the second container also has to be placed on the train.
So let's start heading over there. And you can do multiple movements, etc. So you see, we got over top of this particular can in no time at all, or canister. I know when I was in the Coast Guard and talked to a couple of the guys down at the Port Authority there in Vancouver, they referred to them as cans. So, and I guess that's just short for canister, container, you know, that sort of thing. So, this is part of the job, is using this particular bit of gear. It's a little bit finicky. It's not the sort of ooh-ah excitement I think that's going to make a great Let's Play. But if you want a game that's
Not bad at all for your first day. Now get out of the bridge crane by clicking the X at the top right.
a little bit of skill required, and yet at the same time you don't there we go. You don't feel like you're being stressed or frustrated. These are not time. You know, if it takes me a couple of minutes to get that on there, that's fine. The days are plenty long enough. And you control when it goes to the next day, so you have a lot of time to finish your stuff. This is not, of course, the only vehicle. I currently only have 2 in my other game. This and sort of a front loader type thing that's got a container head on it, just like this. So, when you finish a job,
With the clock icon to end the working day. I'll see you again tomorrow, bright and early.
there we go. So yeah, when you're finished, all the jobs done for today and there's nothing else to do for that day, you can simply click your clock icon up here and switch to the next day. Now, there's an administrative building here. Yeah, right now we've only got the freight depot and the parking lot. They're not actually showing our administration building, are they? Oops, not on the... yeah, okay. Because it's the tutorial, I don't think they've actually unlocked it yet. No. Oh well. But you can, you actually accept contracts, and they may be as simple as what we just saw: unload a couple, wait a day, a new train comes in, you load them back. They may be as complex as some of them come off the train and go to the trucking depot. Some of them coming in on trucks have to be brought over here and put into that sort of, I mean, pretty much what you would expect of a logistics company. And that's sort of the way the game runs. Unfortunately, we'll just end the day here, and as you can see, it tells you now.
Good morning. At the start of each new day, you'll immediately see what you earned.
You
the
see how we
previous
did
day
yesterday,
if you
right?
successfully completed
We
an
lost
order.
$1,000 in vehicle running costs. We didn't damage any of our containers, and we unloaded this particular train, so they paid us this amount of money. So, let's move
We've got
along.
new freight being delivered today. This needs to be unloaded from the train.
So this time they just want us to do pretty much the same thing, except we're going to unload. So let's get back in our crane. And pick up these guys. And our storage area is just where we picked those last ones up to put onto the train. So, and got her. There's no need to lift this thing all the way up to the upper limits of the crane or anything, of course. It's just sort of a bit of a waste. Ooh, that was close. I almost dropped that too fast, and that would have damaged it. Then we would have seen a little red number when we got our end of the day report. And that, of course, is not good. When it comes to numbers, you don't want them in red. See how it swings past a little bit? And let's grab this guy. And we'll set him right here. And down you go, sir. And we go and grab our last guy. Get a little bit off center there. There we go. Over a bit, up a tiny bit. And there we go. We've got our 3 containers. And of course, this early in the game, these sort of missions are quite small, simple to accomplish. As I say, it does actually get considerably more complex as you start dealing between your warehouse, the trucking, the trains, the shipping, etc., and a few different vehicles. It becomes an actual case of work in the logistics. So I'm not going to, in this first episode, get too much further here, because I believe we end up using this particular machine quite a little bit here for the first while. So, and there we go.
Well done. In the future, bear in mind where the containers are heading in the coming days when you're unloading them. These containers need to be loaded onto another freight train tomorrow, so they're placed absolutely perfectly here.
Strange character. So yeah, that's kind of alluding to what I was saying, where you'll get a train come in with, say, 8 containers on it. Well, maybe 2 of them are going to go here because they have to go on another train in 2 days. You know, the other 6 might have to. This tells us when we look or hover over one what the deal is. Here we go. Oh, there. You see, that tells us that these are containers, 3 of them, and they go onto a train. If we'd have hovered over that and it showed a ship or a truck, we'd probably want to take them elsewhere. Otherwise, when the truck or ship came in for them, we'd have to come all the way over here, find them, drag them all the way down there to wherever they were going to go, etc. So, yeah, not impressive. But there you go. That's sort of been a quick look. It does rather quickly build up to a bigger
You can now end the working day, as all orders for today are complete. If there were still orders open, you would have to take care of them, of
I'm
course.
trying to talk here,
That
fella.
means ensuring that all containers are stored in storage spaces or on transport vehicles.
Oh, well, there you go.
See you
That was
tomorrow.
something I was wondering about. If you leave a container on a vehicle, if it'll stay there. So that's cool. It will. there. And I think with that, guys, we're going to end it here for our first look at logistics. And as I said, it is an interesting little game. So far, I have not run into any sort of bugs. At least in the Steam forum, the developer does seem to be quite active, so we'll see where it goes. But anyways, I will definitely bring this game back up when I'm a little further into it and I can show you a little bit more of the vehicles, the actual freight yard, taking orders, etc. So expect at least a part 2 to this. Until then, though, leave your comments, let me know what you think of the game, what you think of my presentation, etc. Until next time, guys, well, take care of each other. This has been Species 7. Ciao for now.